Our story begins in 2009 with Baek Soo-Jung, future girl boss, current friendless nerd, and a walking sarcasm machine. When her younger brother gets humiliated in an online RPG, she decides to take matters into her own hands, hacks into his account and dives headfirst into the game. She levels up fast, earns respect, and meets her digital nemesis turned teammate, the mysterious Black Dragon. He says he's 22 and she's 19. Together, they slay monsters, defend territories, and slowly build a deeper connection. Soo-Jung falls for Black Dragon, and the two start a sweet online romance filled with hot emojis and late-night chats. Days, weeks, months go by, and eventually they agree to meet up with the rest of their team. But when the big day arrives, surprise, Soo-Jung comes face-to-face with a 15-year-old middle schooler. Yup. The legendary Black Dragon turns out to be a baby-faced teen who skipped his tutoring class to confess his love and gift her a couple's keychain. Literal key plus lock. The symbolism is loud. Soo-Jung is mortified, and we're rolling on the floor laughing. She freaks out, humiliates the poor kid, and baby dragon is escorted back to his homework with a broken heart and a shattered ego. Fast forward to the present. Soo-Jung has grown up and glowed up. Now she's the fierce team leader in the strategy department of a luxury department store, aka the director destroyer, because no boss lasts long under her rule. One night, while heading home from work with a colleague, her car gets rear-ended. It's not serious, but the smug attitude of the other driver, young, rich, and indifferent, drives her nuts. He casually hands over his lawyer's business card and says he'll pay for everything. The audacity. The next day at work, everyone is buzzing with excitement. The new department director is arriving, and guess who it is? Ban Joo-Yeon. She-ball air by day, rocker gamer by night, and yep, he's Black Dragon. Only now, he's traded his gaming armor for Gucci suits, and Soo-Jung has no idea her emotional and traumatic past just walked into her office. At least not until she sees him shirtless, revealing a very familiar dragon tattoo. And plot twist, he's also the guy who hit her car. Instead of a "nice to meet you," their reunion kicks off with mutual blackmail. He wants to keep his secret rocker/gamer identity buried. She wants job security. A shady deal is struck. She keeps quiet and he won't fire her. But this is just the beginning. Soo-Jung, in full-on detective mode, starts following her boss, all in the name of research, of course, and discovers his rock band alter ego. She takes plenty of pictures for evidence. Meanwhile, Joo-Yeon, convinced she's a threat, starts messing with her at work. At a company dinner, they compete to see who can drink more. Soo-Jung wins, and the all-powerful CEO, he's left tipsy, whiny, and begging her for chocolate milk. Humiliated, Joo-Yeon runs a background check and finds out Soo-Jung is everything he pretends not to be. Passionate, intense, and unapologetically herself. Terrified of making her an enemy, he offers her a new contract. Lifetime job security if she agrees to delete the photos, keep his secret, and be on call 24/7. She accepts, but the job turns into a circus. Joo-Yeon never leaves her alone, bombarding her with exhausting tasks and constant calls. One evening, after a long day and starving, Soo-Jung gets another call from him. She rushes over only to be taken to a high-end boutique where he orders her to get dressed up. She picks a sleek black dress and walks down the staircase like a queen while he practically drools. They head to a chaebol party. There he tells her to stay quiet and not draw attention while he deals with a group of snobby heirs. Soo-Jung, driven by hunger, goes off in search of food, only to be harassed by a pushy man who won't take no for an answer when the guy tries to grab her. Joo-Yeon swoops in, throws him into the pool, grabs Soo-Jung's wrist with a mix of gentleness and authority and says, "Let's go, babe." And at that exact moment, every single one of us watching turned into dust particles. We pick up right where we left off, with Joo-Yeon's swoon-worthy wrist grab and his confident, "Baby, let's go." But common sense quickly kicks in and he backpedals, clarifying that Soo-Jung is merely an important employee, not his girlfriend or crush. The moment fizzles and off they go on an official store visit. There, they meet a very particular customer, who turns out to be Joo-Yeon's favorite rock artist. It takes a moment for Joo-Yeon to recognize his idol Son's signature sunglasses and stage makeup, but once he does, the fanboy in him nearly bursts through his chaebol armor. Soo-Jung, ever the wingwoman, helps him secure an autograph and a photo since he can't fanboy openly. Later, she encourages him to enjoy his passions without worrying about what others think. A flashback shows us a defining moment from Joo-yeon's childhood. A truck of doom ruined a trip to an animation event with his parents, resulting in their death. His grandmother, mourning her beloved son, blamed Joo-yeon for it all, as if the boy forced his parents into the car. Heartbreakingly, she destroyed everything he loved: his video games, cartoons, even the stuffed toy his mom gave him before the accident. Despite trying to fill the void his father left, Grandma's resentment never wavered. Even now, she constantly reminds him he killed his parents, leaving him forever chasing her approval. His one safe haven, the secret dragon lair in his apartment. A room filled with comics, action figures, rock star outfits, and a fridge full of chocolate milk. When a faulty plug in the dragon lair needs fixing, Joo-yeon contacts a discreet hardware store, which happens to be Soo-Jung's dad's. Since her dad's busy, Soo-Jung jumps in, drawn by the client's desperate 5 times the usual pay. She rolls up to the address, toolbox in hand, channeling all her learned from dad's skills. Joo-yeon, horrified that someone might uncover his secret lair, camps out in the parking lot to monitor the repairs via CCTV. Imagine his shock when Soo-Jung appears on the screen. Panicked, he doesn't let her finish the job in anonymity. Instead, he introduces an imaginary nephew as the room's owner. Luo Bol. When Soo-Jung doesn't buy the story, he gets defensive, until her comment, "You like way more things than I thought. My perception has changed," melts his guard. Moments later, she trips on a cord and Joo-yeon flings aside his precious comics to catch her, but the falling ghost strikes again. This time with Soo-Jung's dad, who fractures his ankle on the job. Joo-yeon promptly invents an employee benefit and gets him a VIP hospital suite. Cue the pseudo-meet the family moment. Soo-Jung's younger brother, Baek Soo-bin, Son Sang-yeon, shows up to relieve her. He's the classic cheeky sibling who teases, "Why would your rich director like you?" but ultimately supports his Nuno with warmth that's rare in drama land. For his next employee benefit, Joo-yeon upgrades Soo-Jung's ancient car. At the shop, Soo-Jung reminisces about her late mom, stirred by her dad's hospital stay. Cue emotionally intelligent Joo-yeon. He listens, comforts, and continues to show up. He's the same thoughtful guy who previously gifted her a stuffed toy she admired in passing. And when an urgent file is needed, the dramatic dragon emerges, having a meltdown in the bathroom while shouting his manga-inspired password over the phone to Soo-Jung. She's the only one he trusts with his password, and it's clear she not only accepts but cherishes his quirks. With a little teasing, of course. She even sneaks him his beloved chocolate milk at work. After filming a chocolate milk commercial, Joo-yeon admits he used to hate how she kept finding out his secrets. But now, having one person who knows isn't bad. Turns out Soo-Jung gets it. She used to share her secrets with Black Dragon too. But their growing bond hits a speed bump when Joo-yeon recommends some terrible brands for the store. No one dares question the chairwoman's grandson, except Soo-Jung. She challenges him at a meeting, only to find out it was a test to see if the team leaders value the company over blind loyalty. Plot twist. She passed the test she didn't know she was taking. As for our unconventional secondary couple, Shin-won had visited Ha-jin's restaurant last week, thanks to Instagram, and got pushed into her arms by, what else? The falling ghost. This week they bond over how to take better food photos, and sparks fly. Ha-jin straight up asks if he wants to sleep with her, and he's all in. The next morning she's cool and casual, but Shin-won is now obsessed, grinning at all her Instagram posts. He falls harder when he visits again and sees her dancing to Infinite's Be Mine. Same. He asks her out, but Ha-jin turns him down. She's recently divorced and not ready to date. Good for her. Let Shin-won earn it. Meanwhile, Ha-jin and Shin-won don't realize they have a mutual connection. Joo-yeon, he's Shin-won's family friend, and Ha-jin's gaming buddy, Black Dragon, which irks Soo-Jung. Why is Ha-jin still talking to the guy who lied to them? Turns out Joo-yeon and Ha-jin met years after the disastrous game meetup. He apologized and, prepping for his chibo life, asked her never to acknowledge him if they met again. But he's also the one sending congratulatory gifts for her restaurant. Still, his double life is so wild that he has to talk to her back turn like he's in a spy film. Back to the test, Soo-Jung is offended, even though she understands the purpose. When Joo-yeon asks how to make it up to her, she replies that she can cheer herself up, but he insists. Only the person who gave me chocolate milk gets personal cheering. Cue another adorable move. He takes her to an arcade. You won't get catfished playing games in person, he jokes, nodding to her game trauma. When she worries about being caught, he's quick to quip. He'll say he's researching the entertainment market with a team leader. The episode ends with Soo-Jung taking Joo-Yeon to Ha-jin's restaurant after their arcade date, but Ha-jin calls to cancel when she spots Black Dragon, aka Joo-Yeon, inside. After Ha-jin warns Soo-Jung to stay away from her restaurant because Black Dragon is there, Soo-Jung reacts by grabbing the dragon himself, Joo-Yeon, and making a swift exit. Ha-jin is floored to learn that the infamous Black Dragon is actually Soo-Jung's boss, and when she delicately probes about him, reminding Soo-Jung she once labeled him a psycho, Soo-Jung shrugs it off. He's not that bad once you get to know him. Ha-jin tries to spin it, wondering if Black Dragon might turn out like Soo-Jung's director, a decent guy under the crust. But Soo-Jung shuts that down hard. Even if he wins a Nobel Prize, he's still a scammer to me. Meanwhile, Ha-jin spots Shin-won with Joo-yeon and suspects something's up. Through Shin-won, we learn Joo-yeon became the perfect successor after Soo-Jung broke his heart, which sparks some delicious bickering between Shin-won and Ha-jin over who was truly at fault in that first love fallout. But things get serious fast. They realize if Soo-Jung and Joo-yeon keep getting closer, it could lead to total chaos once the truth about their identities and pasts comes out. So, naturally, Ha-jin and Shin-won team up to sabotage the blooming relationship to prevent World War Yongsung. And sabotage they do. Shin-won lies to Joo-yeon saying Soo-Jung is interested in someone else at work, hoping it'll cool things off. But instead, Joo-yeon's ego takes the bait. Of course she's into someone. Him, obviously. Facepalm. His delusion shatters when he sees her out with Shin-won and misreads the situation as a date. In reality, Soo-Jung is confronting Shin-won for meddling, on orders from Joo-yeon, ironically, but our jealous chaebol doesn't get the memo. Instead, he storms over to Soo-Jung's place and drags her out for another egg drop sandwich date, sponsored, of course. During their meal, Joo-yeon warns her about Shin-won being a player. Soo-Jung says she's not into Shin-won, but cheekily adds, "What if I was?" Joo-yeon answers, "Then I'd stop you, because I just don't like it." What? Confess properly, man. We don't do riddles here. Later, Soo-Jung heads to a countryside farm to secure a supplier for Yongsung. Joo-yeon joins for moral support but is quickly rebranded as her younger brother to appease the anti-Shable farm grandma. Offended by the demotion, Joo-yeon pouts and Nuna zones Soo-Jung the whole day, but their dynamic softens as they bond over shared struggles. Both work themselves to the bone trying to prove something, and both were burned by their first loves. After a few too many cups of magwale, accidentally mistaking it for a new product, they're forced into a classic K-drama sleepover. Soo-Jung steps out to take Ha-jin's call, and Joo-yeon overhears her say she doesn't see him as a man. Ouch. When she returns, he impulsively pulls her into a drunken kiss. Yep, it happened. Sadly, we don't get the one-bed trope, but we do get Soo-Jung tossing and turning all night, eventually deciding the kiss must mean he likes her. The next day, their teamwork wins over farm grandma, who agrees to sign with Yongsung. Joo-yeon comes clean about being the successor and promises to support her hospital charity, sealing the deal. Back in Seoul, Soo-Jung brings up last night's incident, expecting a follow-up on the kiss, but Jo-yeon thinks she's talking about leaving him outside in the cold with the mosquitoes. The fact that he completely forgot about the kiss? Brutal. Determined to reclaim his manly image, Jo-yeon embarks on a hilarious glow-up mission. Weightlifting, agonizing over masculine hairstyles, and spoiling his employees, all to impress Soo-Jung, who remains unimpressed. She's torn between dismissing him as just her annoying boss and secretly hoping that kiss meant something. But when she tells him she's going on a blind date with a cameo from Hong Jong-hyun, and he doesn't react, she snaps, marches straight to his house to confront him for the mixed signals. Unfortunately, their conversation devolves into emotional ping-pong, with both getting hurt. To top it all off, Joo-yeon's grandmother starts preparing to unveil him to the press as her heir. That means no distractions, like romance. But he's already distracted. He tries to go clubbing for one last wild night before official chaebol mode kicks in. But all he can think about is Soo-Jung. And finally, he remembers the kiss. Turns out Joo-yeon didn't just teleport to Soo-Jung because of K-drama magic. He actually called to ask where she was, then dragged her into the changing room to talk about the kiss. He apologizes for forgetting it, but insists kissing her wasn't a mistake. Now that his feelings are on the table, Soo-Jung enters full denial mode about her own avoiding him at work, making a pros and cons list, and then questioning that list after Joo-yeon is officially introduced in the media as Yongsung's likely successor. That announcement hits like a truck for Soo-Jung, who brings Joo-Yeon back down to reality with a pointed question. Can you hold my hand in front of people and in front of the chairwoman? He has no answer. Not wanting to risk her job or heart, Soo-Jung decides to bury her feelings. Meanwhile, Joo-Yeon and Shin-won bond over being rejected. Misery loves company, after all. At work, Joo-Yeon hears Soo-Jung has lunch plans and jumps to the conclusion she's on a blind date. He tails her to the restaurant, only to find her eating with her dad and Soo-bin. Plot twist, it's actually Soo-bin's attempt to introduce his girlfriend to the family, but she's a no-show, so Joo-Yeon ends up the lone guest at this accidental meet the family. Soo-Jung's dad is charmed. Soo-bin, not so much. He corners Joo-Yeon outside for a Racket Boys reunion and issues a protective brother warning, don't mess with my Nuna. Joo-Yeon assures him his feelings for Soo-Jung are serious. Meanwhile, Grandma gets suspicious after the housekeeper mentions being banned from Joo-Yeon's study. She plans a surprise visit. Thankfully, Secretary Kwon Ot-ise, who used to be Grandma's own secretary, betrays Grandma's trust for good reason and tips Joo-Yeon off. Soo-Jung helps him stall, while Shin-won and Ha-jin try and fail to intercept Grandma. She gets there early, and as Joo-Yeon ushers her into the study, we all hold our breath. But she finds only a strategically placed photo of him with his parents. That photo, it hits a nerve. Grandma assumes that's the big secret, and in a way, she's right, because even though Joo-Yeon blames himself for his parents' death, he still longs for them. Apparently, a child who killed his parents isn't allowed to miss them. Grandma, 2025. She smashes the photo frame and storms out, leaving behind a broken boy in a grown man's suit. Unbeknownst to her, Soo-Jung had been hiding in the lair and heard everything. Afterwards, Joo-Yeon opens up about the accident, Grandma's resentment, and how his secret lair kept him sane. Even though no one loved me, I felt fulfilled, he says. He was happiest when Soo-Jung told him to enjoy his hobbies freely. I like you, he confesses. I've hidden the things I love for so long, but I like you too much to keep it a secret. Oof, my heart. Soo-Jung needs time. She goes home to think about all their moments together, the thoughtfulness, the honesty, the ridiculous charm, and decides to stop running. She rushes to Joo-Yeon's place, but of course he's not home, because it's illegal in K-drama land to have a straightforward confession scene. Eventually, they run into each other at the department store. She asks if he's willing to risk everything, the succession, the public image, if their relationship is revealed. I think I'd be okay, as long as I have you, he says. She smiles, tells him she likes him too, and under the glowing fountain lights, they kiss. Finally. Now officially dating, they vow to keep things under wraps at work. Spoiler alert, they suck at it. Soo-Jung tries to be discreet, but her dragon of a boyfriend is all smiles and googly eyes. Crying baby sound effects follow every time she fake scolds him in public. Still, it's adorable when she memorizes the names of his favorite comic characters to make up for it. Now, if only he could stop flirting at work, that'd be great. Meanwhile, our secondary ship sets sail. After a random Yoon Park cameo, Ha-jin and Shin-won run into each other at a wedding. We learn Ha-jin's ex cheated less than a year into their marriage after a 10-year relationship. She's hesitant to start anything new, but Shin-won says he's serious. Ha-jin proposes another hookup. He declines. He wants more than just sex. So, she reconsiders and agrees to date him. The purpose of a relationship is to be happy, she says. Sounds simple enough. Ha-jin tells Soo-Jung about dating Shin-won. Soo-Jung, still silent about Joo-Yeon. But Shin-won's not dumb. He can tell from Joo-Yeon's smitten body language that something's up. Still, he can't bring himself to interfere. It's been so long since Joo-Yeon looked this genuinely happy. But happiness has a short fuse in K-drama world. One night, Joo-Yeon swings by Soo-Jung's place because he misses her. Oh, and also to grab one of his comic books, since he moved everything from the lair to her attic after Grandma's surprise visit. Soo-Jung heads up to get it, and finds the couple's chain her first. Love gave her years ago. Gasp. Cue the confrontation. You're Black Dragon, aren't you? And that's where we leave off. The secret's out. At last. Next week promises angst, awkwardness, and maybe a fast track back to romantic bliss. But we've got threats brewing at work, especially from that coworker accusing Soo-Jung of seducing her way up the ladder. And Grandma? Let's just say her suspicion radar is off the charts. Someone start a prayer circle for this couple, because grandma is not the type to wave white flags, unless they come stuffed in an envelope of cash. We pick up right where we left off, Soo-Jung and Joo-Yeon realizing they were each other's first loves. This revelation, not cute for Soo-Jung. Growing up, she had to be her own rock while her dad focused on caring for her sick mom, and she took on the responsibility of looking after Soo-bin. Black Dragon was the first person she ever wanted to lean on, and his betrayal via catfishing shattered that fragile trust. Meanwhile, Joo-Yeon is stunned. The same girl who once tore into him is now the person who makes his heart race, and he has no clue what to do with that emotional whiplash. Hajin decides she and Shin-won should come clean to Soo-Jung and Joo-Yeon, only to find out their secret is old news. Soo-Jung and Joo-Yeon, surprisingly united, drag them for starting their romance by breaking up a pair of first loves. Fair, but things quickly spiral back to their own complicated past, and Soo-Jung calls it quits. Joo-Yeon pleads, but she's firm. Knowing he's Black Dragon makes it too painful to continue. She believes ending things is best for both of them. Cue workplace awkwardness and Joo-Yeon being a petty CEO, making her sit in his office doing absolutely nothing. Sir, please. Eventually, Soo-Jung confronts him. Joo-Yeon apologizes for lying about his age back then and begs her to look past the deception and see him for who he is now, but she's unmoved. He's confused. If she still likes him, why walk away? His comparison to the time she left him in the past feels a bit off, while teen Joo-Yeon's pain was valid. Grown-up Joo-Yeon should really try a little empathy. Later, he drowns his sorrows with Shin-won and finally gains some perspective on how much his lies hurt Hajin too. Growth, I guess. Then comes the chaos. A tabloid announces that the Yongsung successor is getting married, featuring a photo from Joo-Yeon's dinner with Soo-Jung's family. The office explodes with gossip, but Soo-Jung's co-workers are in denial. The two argue too much to be a couple, right? Oh, sweet summer children. Secretary Kwon tells Grandma the rumor is false, but Grandma isn't letting this slide. She wants Soo-Jung gone. Joo-Yeon defends her. She's critical to the department store renewal project, so Grandma backs down, for now. But she makes it clear, one more misstep, and she'll handle it personally. Soo-Jung, shaken, tries to look out for Joo-Yeon, but he shuts her down cold. They're not together anymore. Remember, that icy brush-off wrecks her, and she finally cries at home. Meanwhile, Joo-Yeon is working himself into the ground and ends up bedridden. Soo-Jung has a talk with her heart and decides it's time to stop living in the past. She rushes to his place, takes care of him, apologizes, and recommits to their relationship. There are kisses. Many kisses. And yes, she spends the night. The next morning, she walks home in full walk of shame mode and tells her dad they're back together. He's concerned. Chaebol families are messy, but he trusts her. If she's happy, so is he. Grandma, not so much. She fires Joo-Yeon for having the audacity to be in love. He begs to stay and promises it won't affect his work. Grandma is unmoved and cruelly tells him he was never a replacement for her son, just a defect. Oof. Secretary Kwon, our queen, resigns in protest. She's always known about Joo-Yeon's secret identity but stayed quiet, thinking emotional repression was a useful Chaebol trait, just like Grandma after her son's death. But no more. She wants Joo-Yeon to be happy and is relieved he has Soo-Jung by his side. Joo-Yeon bows and thanks her. Now jobless, Joo-Yeon bonds with Soo-Jung's family. Soo-bin is warming up to him, and they bond over being unemployed, his useless handyman skills, and surprisingly, good cooking. For the first time since losing his parents, Joo-Yeon eats a real family dinner. Dad and Soo-bin adore him so much, they fight over whose room he'll sleep in. Wholesome chaos. Meanwhile, Grandma transfers Soo-Jung to facilities management, hoping she'll quit out of embarrassment. But has she met Soo-Jung? She thrives, showing off her handyman skills like a boss. Her jealous co-worker can't wrap her head around Soo-Jung tolerating this humiliation. Soo-Jung explains, she used to fight injustice to protect herself, but now she's enduring it to protect someone else. Frustrated, Grandma confronts her. Why won't she just quit? Because Joo-Yeon might come back, Soo-Jung answers. Grandma scoffs. Joo-Yeon's return isn't happening as far as she's concerned, but Soo-Jung doesn't care about titles. She wants Joo-Yeon to get back something far more important, his family, even if that includes Grandma, unfortunately. Elsewhere, Hajin's mom visits her restaurant. To avoid a scene, Hajin introduces Shin-won as her part-time worker boyfriend. Then her ex-husband shows up, cameo by Shin Hyun-Soo. And now Mom knows the divorce wasn't some mutual decision. Ex cheated. She promptly turns on him and supports Ha-jin and Shin-won's new relationship. But Ha-jin sets boundaries. She doesn't want Shin-won dragged deeper into her personal drama. He, however, wants more than just casual. Their clashing priorities leave their relationship in limbo. Back to our main couple, Joo-yeon learns about Soo-Jung's department transfer and tells her to quit. She shouldn't have to go through this, but she won't throw away everything she's worked for just because grandma's playing games. I made this decision for myself because I love you, she says. Inspired, Joo-yeon makes his own decision. And just like that, he's back in his chaebol suit in his director's seat. How did he pull that off? We'll find out next week. Our final episodes kick off with Joo-yeon and Grandma at the negotiation table. Joo-yeon's replacement at work is up to some shady business that could tank Yongsung's image, but Joo-yeon's willing to keep it quiet if Grandma agrees to stop harassing Soo-Jung and gives him his directorship position back. Grandma accepts, with a condition. The Yongsung renewal project must succeed, or else all bets are off. Joo-yeon is confident in both himself and Soo-Jung to make it happen. Soo-Jung is equally confident, not just in the project's success, but in the fact that once it's over, Grandma will have to acknowledge Joo-yeon. But let's not get too comfortable, because if the project fails, Grandma's ready to channel her inner tyrannical Joseon king and erase Joo-yeon from existence. Name, assets, legacy, and all. When Soo-Jung finds out about Grandma's sinister little claws, she meets up with Joo-yeon and channels her inner Disney princess break. Because seriously, why would Prince Dragon gamble away his entire kingdom for her? But Joo-yeon brings it back around to the conversation they've had before. How he knew she wouldn't quit despite all of Grandma's nonsense, because she can't just throw away her effort and dedication. He understands the need to be acknowledged, to be seen, and since he knows how much that matters, there's nothing he wouldn't risk to make sure she gets that recognition. Honestly, that's romance. The renewal project reaches its cherry-on-top moment with the reopening of one of the Yongsung Department Stores. The strategy team lines up pop-up stores for the launch, including Pirate King, which, surprise, is one of Joo-yeon's favorite animations. Cue the fanboy barely managing to stay professional. But of course, Dramaland 101 says, nothing can go smoothly. At the food court, Joo-yeon's quick reflexes prevent a hot food collision between a student and a kid, but the kid's parents blow the incident way out of proportion. A vlogger picks up the story and spins it into a narrative about a cocky chaebol heir who hates children. As a result, Pirate King's creator pulls out of the deal. No! Joo-yeon, aka Black Dragon, arranges a meeting with the creator, who's thrilled to meet his low-key but passionate fan. The same fan who once helped screen the animation for underprivileged kids. Prior to this, Soo-Jung had personally tried to convince the creator of Joo-yeon's good character, but he wasn't buying it. Now that he knows Black Dragon and Joo-yeon are the same person, Joo-yeon barely needs to say a word. His actions already prove his sincerity. The creator agrees to participate in the pop-up, and just like that, the project is back on track. The reopening is a smashing success, and Joo-yeon proudly declares his love for Pirate King. In the background, Grandma wears the nastiest of scowls. She scolds him for coming out of his anime closet, saying, "Have you forgotten you're still the successor in the eyes of the public? Girl, please, your grandson is an anime nerd, and he's done hiding it. Deal with it." Joo-yeon, basking in the glow of a successful project, declares he no longer wishes to seek her love by suppressing who he is. From now on, he wants to live as Ban Joo-Yeon, not as the heir of Yongsung Group. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, Soo-Jung is ambushed by a horde of reporters tossing out page 6-style questions like, how does it feel to win the boyfriend lottery? While tabloids and nosy netizens buzz, office gossip starts claiming she should just quit and enjoy her chaebol boyfriend's money. Never mind that losing an employee like her would be their loss. Amidst the chaos, Soo-Jung gets a major offer from the largest department store chain in the US. The recruiter, a former Sunbae, advises her to leave Yongsung because, no matter what, she'll always be seen as Joo-yeon's girlfriend. Ouch. The show deserves credit for not sugarcoating Soo-Jung's Cinderella dilemma. It also earns points for showing how not tone-deaf Joo-yeon is. He sees how the gossip affects her, and he tells her she should do what's best for her career. She can leave for the US as early as the next day if that's what she chooses. While this sounds like a noble idiot's attempt to set her free, it's clear from his face that Joo-yeon would hop on that plane with her in a heartbeat. But since he doesn't say it out loud, Soo-Jung assumes the worst. Joo-yeon spirals when Soo-Jung ignores his calls and texts, and Secretary Kwon has to remind him that Soo-Jung is not a mind reader. If he wants her to understand his intentions, he needs to say them. On her end, Soo-Jung eventually pieces things together and realizes that Joo-Yeon probably did mean to leave with her. And just like that, the brief misunderstanding arc wraps up. Phew. In the end, Soo-Jung decides to stay in Korea. She's already earned the respect of people who value her talent, and she won't let the snide remarks of jealous colleagues or random netizens drive her away. While our main couple is thriving, our secondary couple is still deep in angst territory. Ha-jin realizes she hasn't fully healed from her last relationship, which makes it hard for her to trust Shin-won. But as Soo-Jung gently points out, the fact that she wants to trust him says a lot about how deeply she cares. Ha-jin gathers all her courage to apologize for jumping to conclusions and pushing Shin-won away. She wants to keep dating him, but now it's Shin-won's turn to hesitate because he knows he'll always want more than what she's ready to give. After a heart-to-heart with Joo-yeon, plus a little liquid courage, Shin-won drunk dials Ha-jin to confess his feelings, only to realize her phone is connected to a Bluetooth speaker in her restaurant, and now all her customers have heard his slurred love declaration. Hehe. The next day, when he's sober and full of regret, he and Ha-jin rekindle things. He promises to continue proving that he's someone she can trust. One of the customers posts the Bluetooth confession online, it goes viral, and Ha-jin is suddenly flooded with new business. Shin-won, a natural at customer service with a flair for creating new dishes, quits his job to become Ha-jin's business partner. Personally, I think he rushed into that decision, and I'm not fully convinced their relationship has what it takes in the long run. But hey, the drama gives them their happy ending. Back to our dragon. Grandma is shook to learn that Joo-yeon dedicated himself to Yongsung not for power or ambition, but because he wanted her love. Of course she's in denial. Her heart has long since fossilized. According to Grandma, love is a weakness and she was tough on Joo-yeon to make him strong. But Secretary Kwon shuts that down real quick, pointing out that love made Joo-yeon stronger. He endured years of tyranny because he loves her, and gave up everything to be with Soo-jung. I hope you can apologize before it's too late, Kwon says. Honestly, I was rooting for her to go down with the unrepentant villain ship. But alas, redemption comes knocking. Grandma visits Joo-yeon's home, initially horrified to find anime figures and posters covering every inch of the place. But she softens. She cries. She apologizes for being a robotic dictator instead of a real grandmother. Joo-yeon hugs her and it's a tearful reconciliation. He needs this closure to move on. I, however, do not. This woman did not earn a redemption arc, so let's fast forward, please. From here, it's fluff and happy endings all around. Subin passes his exams and becomes a firefighter. Dad, who secretly invested in Yongsung stock to support Soo-jung's career, hits the jackpot when stock prices soar after the project's success. Now a proud shareholder, he's ready to square up if Grandma ever disrespects his daughter again. But surprise, Grandma actually apologizes to Soo-jung and accepts her relationship with Joo-yeon. Joo-yeon is elected to the Yongsung board, solidifying his place in the company on his terms. Soo-jung gets promoted, and even her formerly jealous colleague acknowledges her hard work and apologizes for those gross "you seduced the boss" accusations. The drama ends with Joo-yeon and Soo-jung standing in the middle of the road, smiling at each other like two love-struck idiots. And I can't help but wonder if they've ever heard of the Truck of Doom. Either way, they head off into their happily ever after. And that was the recap of My Dearest Nemesis, packed with tension, secrets, and that electric chemistry we all love. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like, drop a comment, and share it with your fellow drama addict. I'm Kika from Drama Spot, and I'll see you in the next episode right here on the channel. Until then, keep on drama loving in style.